This is the name of the talk I used to give in my short stint as a professional public speaker. It was all about you and who you really want to be. Not what your parents, teachers, spouses, and other significant others want you to be, but what you, down deep in your heart, want to be. To be true to that person you envisioned in your dreams of childhood, not the watered-down, compromised person you became in your adult life. You see, I often ask God why He created me. What does He want me to do and to be? He tells me, be the person your heart tells you to be. I have created you and instilled in you your mission on earth. Reach down and remember what you have known and do that. As C.S. Lewis says, there is some moral sense that tells us right from wrong. And that same moral sense can tell us what is right for us. As I wrote the other day, intellect does not tell us. It creates false gods, that things that promise happiness and success, but end up empty and sad. The intellect is formed by others. The heart is from God. Follow it. But there are some problems. First and foremost, we are not alone. There are others in our life who are striving to fulfill their mission and who sometimes conflict with our heartfelt desires. We cannot disregard them and their right to a fulfilling and successful life. But when we do conflict, what do? Well, here I go again, putting on my teacher's hat for a while. But in our Certified Public Manager program, we teach many useful things about how to live life, not just management. One of those things is our conflict management module. We give the students a conflict management assessment tool to understand how they deal with conflict, and then teach them the 5 basic means of dealing with conflict to understand their behavior and give them tools to use in determining which is best in each different situation. Those 5 means are avoidance, accommodation, compromise, competition, and collaboration. As the name indicates, avoidance is about staying out of conflict. Not my battle. Don't really have an opinion. Doesn't matter to me. Well, as you learn, these are legitimate reasons to not be involved. But when you find that you use them all the time, or a majority of the time, you are probably not really putting forth your positions that are necessary to assert who you are and what you stand for. That is letting the real you down and not carrying out your mission. Accommodating is basically saying, you're right, I'm wrong, you win, I lose. Can I just please you and not upset the apple cart? This need to keep the peace regardless and not get along by going along is the answer sometimes, when the issue is of great importance to the other, but not to you. Or you really don't know and are willing to concede the other's better position. But again, if you find yourself overdoing it, you just might be selling yourself and your mission short. You do have opinions and information others should consider, and you need to present it even if it's uncomfortable. Compromise is just that. Find a way to win some of the conflict by giving in on some other part of the issue. Win some, lose some. Much of what we do today is accomplished by compromise. The problem is that it's a 50% deal. There may be many good times that you should use it, but if the issue is really important, is a 50% good solution good enough? Shouldn't you try for more? Competition is, I win, you lose. The old my way or the highway approach. This refusal to consider the other's position and information is not only detrimental to their ability to fulfill their mission, but to you, because you can't think of everything, and they may have information you need and to consider carrying out your mission. Being close to others may be necessary in times of emergency and the need to take fast action. but you have the information necessary to make those decisions, and you have the information necessary to make those decisions. But again, if you find that being the most prevalent means you deal with conflict, you are probably not making the best decisions and frustrating the other in the transaction. Collaboration is the most difficult, yet the most thorough means of resolving conflict and allowing both parties to fully fulfill their mission. You win, I win. It requires we both clearly state our objectives in the conflict and then seek ways to completely accomplish them without undermining the other. It takes time and patience, an honest desire to seek the best solution for both parties, not just myself. If we find ourselves overusing this means, it could mean we're making a mountain out of a molehill sometimes. Some issues just do not need this extensive means of analysis when one of the other means will do just fine. The point is to determine which means best fits the situation and use it, not your tendency to overuse one or the other in your conflicts. But what's that have to do with a spiritual journey? Well, like everything else, when I went through this module, when I was getting ready to teach the CPM program, I had to do that analysis of myself. It was another episode of discovering who I really am and not liking the result. And to me, that's what my spiritual journey is about. It's about spiritual progress, looking at things, finding them out, working at them, trying to get better one day at a time. So, at any rate, when it came to this little module here, I'd like to tell you I was a strong collaboration person. I was right there, I was great. But that wasn't the case. Much to my surprise, my preference was avoidance, followed by accommodation. I didn't like conflict. I don't want any part of it, and if I get in conflict, I'm just going to say, yes, dear. Okay, yes, sir. Go right ahead. That's fine with me. I did not like that result. I was selling myself short, and what I had to contribute, I was selling that short. I thought I was stronger in competition. I was a salesman, for crying out loud, and I was a commissioner. I had to convince politicians to do a whole bunch of stuff, and most of my life has been spent trying to help other people see and do things. But the fact is that in competition, I was very weak. It was even after compromise. Why? Then I got to thinking, how was I raised? I was raised by a rageaholic Irish father who could fly off the handle with the least provocation. I learned to read people. If they're in a bad mood, keep quiet and don't upset them. At all costs, don't make them unhappy. My competitive score comes only when I am in a dominant position and they can't hurt me. If you really want to like me, be happy with me, and I sell myself out to accomplish that. Not being true to the real Jim, the Jim I believe I was created to be. As a matter of fact, it's hard for me to do these blogs because I'm afraid you won't like them or think less of me because I write them. Been writing them for years and never did anything with them until the neighbor encouraged me to go ahead. I'll just keep these thoughts to myself. They help me, and after all, isn't that the most important thing? Maybe not. Maybe I should share them. Our spiritual journey is, for me, my spiritual journey has been one of a lot of twists and turns. Finding out things, growing, being quiet, listening, letting life and God teach me how to become a better person, one day at a time. I hope this was useful to you. I'm sorry about the teaching stuff, but that's just part of who I am too. And next time I'll be back and we'll talk about some more personal things that have gone on in my spiritual journey. Thanks for listening. Bye now.